Hello everyone, welcome back to Soul Talk with Cash. In another video, I emphasized the significance of ensuring that you build your relationship by meeting your partner's love language. I looked at ways how you could identify your and your partner's love language. It is exceptionally commendable that you are meeting your partner's love language, and as much as that is important, I have news for you. Focusing on love language alone to maintain your relationship just will not cut it. In today's video, I will be highlighting 3 essential concepts that will bring your relationship to another level. If you are new to this channel, I produce videos that are geared towards enhancing relationships between couples. I invite you to subscribe and turn on your all notifications that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Let's get right into today's video. The first concept is understanding your partner and placing your partner above yourself. That may sound as if you're neglecting yourself, but imagine what it would be if both persons in that relationship are striving to put their partner's needs above their own. Then both will be satisfied, right? Let me say that understanding your partner is a continuous process. As long as you're together, you'll have to spend time seeking to understand them because circumstances change, perspectives change, and people change. For any of you who are of the view like, who? Him? He's not going to change, or she's not going to change. I'd submit to you that you need to change that view because people change. Change is a process, and it may not happen in the time that you want it to happen, but it will over time. Even though many persons may be resistant to change, they may eventually change when they realize that they cannot continue the way they are in their current situation and expect things to get better. They must want to change, and the environment, the circumstances, situations around them will be factors that will influence that desire to change. There are, however, some dynamics that you need to understand about your partner, which will help you better know how to relate to them. Some of these things that you need to understand about your partner are their background, also about how their family interact and relate with each other, their culture, their environment, how they were grown up, and what are their views in relation to those situations, because those things influence the decisions they make and influence their character. So when you understand those things, you'll be better able to know how to relate to that individual. You'll understand, oh, I see why he is behaving like this, or I understand why she made that decision. Maybe they've been hurt in the past by someone who was close to them, and they now have a barrier that they do not want to be eroded because they believe that's a way that they protect themselves. And those things will affect the decisions they make in their current relationship. You also should know what your partner likes and what your partner dislikes. And one little advice for you in that is that if you know that something makes them upset or annoyed, then you should avoid doing those things. You would need to exercise self-control in certain situations to minimize or avoid the things that cause them to be annoyed or upset. And for the things that they like, you do more of those things so they will feel happy and they will feel more fulfilled because that need is being met, or those needs are being met. Simply put, the things that they do not like, you avoid them, and the things that they like, you should do more of that. Can you imagine imagine what your relationship would look like if both partners were placing each other's needs above their own? The second concept that will bring your relationship to the next level is the concept of the love bank. When you think about a bank, you may immediately think about accounts, deposits, withdrawals, overdraft, annual percentage yield, that is your rate of return on your investment. You may also think about investments, and maybe if you're really into the banking business or businesses that focuses on protection of assets, you may think about solvency, which is the possession of assets over liability. It's being able to cover those financial obligations, which include over a long-term basis, ensuring financial stability. So you will be mindful to protect those things. And if you don't have a good credit score, you must be careful, because you have to restrict those withdrawals, because you don't want to end up being bankrupt. Now, let's apply that analogy to your relationship. This analogy of the love bank was introduced by Dr. Harley. Now, if you want your relationship to grow, make more deposits than you do withdrawals. And this is based on the positive or negative emotions that are associated with our experiences. Or emotional threshold can trigger romantic love, and it can even be repulsive. So when you make more deposits, and that's the time your partner will feel so fulfilled, so loved, that they have this great connection with you that they don't want to be broken. But when you are withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing, doing those things that your partner doesn't like, and the negativity and the toxicity, that's a time when that relationship can be repulsive. The way that you make deposits into your relationship account is by speaking your partner's love language. And when you do good things, when you say nice things, when you make your partner feel fulfilled, loved, wanted, appreciated, feel respected, when you speak nicely to them, when you show that appreciation, when you spend quality time with them, kisses, hugs, cuddles, and satisfy them sexually. And those are some of the ways that you make meaningful deposits in your account. This is not extensive, but you get the idea of making deposits to your relationship. And those would be categorized as the form of investments that you want to make in your relationship to build a stronger foundation. The more deposits you make to your relationship account, the more fulfilled your partner will feel, and the happier your relationship is likely to be. However, withdrawals would be the reverse of everything that I have mentioned for the deposits. Now, if you want your relationship to last, make certain that you are minimizing as best as possible or avoiding making those withdrawals. Now, of course, we are humans and we make mistakes, and sometimes we will say and do things that are offensive to our partners, but that should not be the norm in the relationship. So minimize the amount of withdrawals that you make. Some relationships have so many withdrawals or so-called negative emotional experiences that their relationship may end up in overdraft, meaning partners are taking out more than what is being put into the relationship. Now, that may be a level of toxicity that I'm sure none of you want to reach that place in the relationship. Over time, with that sort of situation, then the relationship will have a negative solvency ratio, which will cause the relationship to go bankrupt. no longer able to fulfill those relationship obligations, and you know where that may lead. However, if you're serious about your relationship, ensure that you invest so much in your relationship that your annual percentage yield will be pleasantly rewarding. The third and final concept that I want to speak about today relates to effective conflict management. There's an advertisement that I often hear which says, "Talk it out, don't fight it out." As well-meaning as that sounds, some people fight with their words. And women, for those of you watching, a lot of men tend to say this about us. They say that our mouth is our most powerful tool. Yeah? And so the words that come out of our mouth can create strife, cause great pain, resulting in emotional scars, and as the adage goes, that words spoken can never be taken back. Now, women, I'm sure, are not the only ones who are guilty of this. Men likewise, because when there is conflict, sometimes people don't tend to stop and think about what they're saying before they say it, and they end up saying things that they don't mean oftentimes. Now, this is why the good book says in Proverbs 15 and verse 1 that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but grievous words or harsh words stir up anger. When dealing with conflicts, people need to exercise self-control, which will allow them to be calm, respectful, and think logically about the situation. Exercising self-control will prevent us from saying things that we don't mean, and can also stop us from saying things that are so hurtful that we regret later in our relationship. And when we exercise self-control, we cause less damage to our relationship. It enables us to think logically, and we can choose to respond differently to whatever triggers may be causing the conflict. The next time you are having a conflict with your spouse and you feel like saying something disrespectful or harsh, just stop for a moment and think. Say nothing. Then choose an appropriate time and place to revisit the discussion. That's what I would call it, the discussion or the conflict, when you are cool, calm, and collected. And that's it for today's video. If you found this useful, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe. Turn your notification bell on so that every time I upload a video, you'll never have to miss out. So until next time, I will see you in the next one.